We've known since the game's first reveal teaser that the Sheikah constructs were missing in Tears of the Kingdom, and in 2023 that's still the case. The Sheikah towers have vanished, seen here, and the ancient shrines are gone too. But now we've got a better look at this version of Hyrule, we can see what's replaced them. Instead of the glowing blue or orange of shrines, Hyrule is lit up by these strange objects surrounded by a spiral of green-blue light, matching that seen in the first trailer and the magic of Link's hand and the constructs in the Sky Islands. We see these everywhere throughout the trailer, often in locations where shrines were in Breath of the Wild. For example, here we can see a green spiral exactly where the Ji-No shrine was in Breath of the Wild. So are these spirals an altered form of shrine? It doesn't seem so. It looks like the spirals surround ovoid rocks, roughly the same size, perhaps slightly smaller, than Breath of the Wild's shrines. They each have a ring surrounding them, which ends in 2 points sticking into the ground. And they're not all in exactly the same place as shrines, like this one in Hateno Village, which sits on a different cliff to where the Mayam Agana shrine was found. The large tree on this raised area is gone, and the stone is in its place. The rock near the Tabantha Bridge stable is again relatively close to a shrine, just on the other side of the stable. These spiral stones are everywhere, often spotted in the distance, especially visible at night. And some are nowhere near where shrines were, like this one, found dead in the centre of Hyrule Fields, not too far from Lon Lon Ranch. So while some are found close to where Breath of the Wild's shrines were, that's not the case for all of them. Interestingly, we can spot what looks like a deactivated stone here. It's definitely the same thing, the same pointed egg shape, with a small half ring around it. In fact, it's the exact same stone as the one from the very beginning of the trailer, in the middle of Hyrule Fields near Lon Lon Ranch, tucked up next to the exact same chunk of stone. Unlike in the first shots, here we see this stone glow green, but only at the base, between the points where the ring meets the ground. At first, I thought that Link's right hand might interact with this green spot to activate the stone, causing energy to spiral around it. But from a gameplay perspective, it would make much more sense for the stones with the spiral to be the ones Link hasn't yet interacted with, as they're far easier to spot from a distance. So maybe this stone here is one that Link has already touched. He could have absorbed its energy spiral into his hand. We don't know for sure what these spiral stones are for, but we can guess where they came from, the skies above. The grass around the base of the central Hyrule Stone is discoloured in the same way it is around the chunk of island behind it, just as if both had fallen from the sky like meteorites. And in this screenshot of Link on the flying machine, we can spot this on a nearby sky island, a ring standing on 2 points. This ring is exactly the same as the one surrounding the stones on the surface. It even has the same little extra bits where the ring meets the ground. Could these rings act as teleporters between the surface and Sky Islands? Perhaps Link will step inside the ring, and by touching the stone with his hand, be transported to a corresponding ring in the sky. There's also the possibility that these stones are involved somehow with Link's new jump ability, seen here at E3 2021. The green spiral is obviously very similar, so Link might be able to use these stones to launch himself directly upwards through the bottom of Sky Islands and onto their surfaces. But it's also possible that these stones are what summon the Sky Islands in the first place. We can see shots from Tears of the Kingdom where no Sky Islands are visible, even in places where they should be. It's possible that they won't appear all at once, and by interacting with spiral stones, Link will cause them to appear above it, the stones pulling the islands from the distant skies above, from another world or another time, and into Hyrule. In fact, this could very well be the case. With this stone in central Hyrule, we get an example of the same object in both its active and inactive states. In the one we're assuming Link hasn't interacted with yet, we can see that it sits next to one large chunk of Sky Island, the same one it's next to in the logo clip. But in this shot, it's surrounded by them. There are smaller pieces all around, and there's even one still falling from above. Interacting with Sky Stones and summoning land above it could cause more chunks to fall as the islands materialize in Hyrule's sky. We can see this area in the shot of Link driving his car, just west of the ranch ruins in Hyrule Field. And again, there's absolutely loads of sky litter everywhere, far more than the small amount seen in this shot of the same place. One shot that seems to contradict this idea is this one, however. We can spot the same two chunks of Sky Island as in the car shots, which don't appear in the clip at night. So perhaps this clip is after Link has activated the stone and these chunks have fallen. It could be, but there's a lot of strange things going on here. There are no islands visible, Death Mountain isn't erupting with malice, and it even looks like Hyrule Castle is on the ground. We can't tell whether or not Link's hand has been changed here, so it seems that this is either incredibly early footage, before Ganondorf raises the castle, or later game footage if it's returned to the surface. Or maybe, as it's trailer footage, it's just from a different build of the game, we don't know. So perhaps these stones, among other small pieces of debris, fell from the sky all at once, all across Hyrule. This could explain another difference between these two shots. A handful of tents have been set up just next to this stone. We can even see a person standing next to a campfire or cooking pot. Perhaps they're a travelling researcher, fascinated by the ancient relics falling from the sky. By interacting with them, maybe Link can summon the islands the stones fell from, directly above him, causing more rock to fall which Link can ride back up. That could be what we're seeing in the logo clip. Link's hand has deactivated the green spiral from this stone, and debris rains from the sky, leaving a trail behind it of the same green energy as the spirals. This could explain the labyrinths too. The north and south Lomé labyrinths now appear to float among the skylands, revealing greater depths than we explored in the first game. But in this shot, we see the north labyrinth on the ground, where it was in Breath of the Wild. So at some point, this labyrinth will rise into the sky, perhaps because Link interacts with a nearby sky stone. Puzzlingly, in this screenshot of Link dropping onto a group of sky islands, there's this. What looks like a stone of the same shape and size as those on the surface. It doesn't glow with the green light, but perhaps it's in a deactivated state like this one, and the small green area is faced away from the camera. I think we can even spot a ring surrounding it, like those on the surface, but we've got to zoom in so far that it's not clear enough to say for sure. We can't know what this is for certain. If it is a sky stone, then perhaps it allows Link to travel even higher up into the sky. We don't know how high up the islands go, so maybe we'll continue using these stones to ascend further and further. It's also possible that this is a unique sky stone. It seems plausible that this group of sky islands will be the first ones he visits, or perhaps even the game's tutorial area, a bit like a flying Great Plateau. With Link's magic arm being his main tool in this game, just like the Sheikah Slate was, it would make sense to have a tutorial in the sky, where he gets his new, ancient outfit and learns how to use his arm's new abilities. And we've seen these exact islands again and again throughout the trailers, just like we did with the Great Plateau for Breath of the Wild. And in this screenshot, Link carries the broken Master Sword on his back and not much else, which could suggest that this shot takes place not long after the sword was damaged, at the start of the game. If this is this game's version of the Great Plateau, then perhaps this is a unique stone that Link must drop down to Hyrule as part of a tutorial on how he can travel between ground and sky, a stone he can later find on the surface and use to return here. Again, the stones do look like they've fallen to the surface with some force. This could be something like activating the Sheikah Towers in Breath of the Wild, where touching the Sheikah Slate to the Great Plateau's tower causes every other tower to burst from the ground. Link dropping this first stone could be what causes all of the others to fall across Hyrule. Or it could be that all of these spiral stones are originally found on the islands, and Link has to drop each one down to Hyrule to create a warp point back up, like pushing a block off a ledge in Ocarina of Time. At this point, we can't know for certain. It seems that, in some regards, the Sky Islands will function a bit like shrines. They're scattered across Hyrule and feature puzzles or combat challenges for Link to complete. Despite how much we've seen, we know almost nothing about them. We don't know why Link is up there, but we can guess at how. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like or subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda content. What do you think about Tears of the Kingdom's mysterious glowing spiral stones? Let me know in the comments. As always, a huge thank you to channel members, including Myth Tier members, Zelda But a Girl, Pappy Chris, Riceglite, Vampyfoot, Thomas Drury Wang, Celestial Kitsune, Monkey Gamer Z Official, and Gerudo Eli. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.